Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem, Ruach HaKodash, double honor to the apostles, great millstone, who all learned the truth of the gospel of Yahawashi from, and peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the house of David, which is the elect, the men, women, and children that are predestined to receive salvation and to be the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven, which is the kingdom of Israel. So this is an article coming from Fox Business. Already came out earlier this month, but I just came across it and I found it interesting. So I just wanted to share it with the sheep out there. It says California's new COVID-19 workplace rules will deal crushing blow to businesses, critics warn. So we're going to read about this new workplace rule that California is issuing, and seeing how they are setting things up for chaos, man. Okay, that problem reaction solution method is clearly in the works. So let's read this quickly. It says former San Diego City Council member Carl DiMaio slammed the state's latest draconian workplace regulations on COVID-19 masks, warning that if enforced, will deal a crushing blow to California businesses. Okay, so there goes that word, draconian. That has been very heavily, spoken about in Babylon ever since, this whole pandemic started. Okay, and we know that word draconian is, you can actually find it, in the scriptures where it talks about the dragon. All right, in Revelation the 13th chapter, it says, and Lord willing, we'll get that just to show the edification of it. It says the California Occupational Safety and Health Standards Board's new rules allows workers to go maskless only if every employee in a room is fully vaccinated against the coronavirus. If just one person is not vaccinated, all employees must wear a mask. Okay, so as you see, they're setting up a scenario where people are going to be, ostracized. People, in the workplace are going to be, separated. Okay, whether it be, physically, or people are not going to just even want to interact, or people are going to have some sort of resentment against an individual if they decided to not get, vaccinated. And because of that one person that decides not to get vaccinated, all the whole office or the whole company has to wear a mask. And that's going to cause what? Friction. So reading on, it says employers are also required to stockpile the most effective N95 mask for employees who want them starting July 1st. Let's read some more of this. It says the board initially voted 4-3 to reject any changes to current rules, but later reversed the decision to give the new rules the go-ahead on Thursday. I think a lot of people were stunned by that ultimate rule. I talked to various business groups who just felt it was arbitrary. Salakia. Capricious. Let me see how to pronounce that word. Just 1 second. Always good to learn new words and how to pronounce them. So let's see. Capricious. All right, which means impulsive or unpredictable. All right, so arbitrary, capricious, and draconian, said DiMaio, who chairs Reform California, an advocacy group that opposes tax increases and promotes government accountability. Nobody agrees with the rule that they adopted. The revised rules comes as Governor Gavin Newsom faces a likely recall election this fall, brought on by public discontent over his handling of the pandemic. The Cal/OSHA workplace regulation applies in almost every workplace in the state, including workers in offices, factories, and retail. So it doesn't matter where you work. All right, this rule that the Cal/OSHA regulation is saying is that if they want to have no masks, in a in a setting, everybody has to be vaccinated. And if one person is not vaccinated, then the whole entire room of that workplace, whether it's an office, retail, or factory, they all have to wear masks. So like I said, that's going to, you can clearly see how that's going to cause dissension, and could even have employees, colleagues and co-workers get to the point where they're fighting against each other, which is also prophesied in the scriptures. Because even now, people are set on edge right now, man, with this whole thing. Okay, the scriptures talks about how because of iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So you can just clearly, picture a scenario where where somebody just is upset because they got to wear a mask because that one person decided not to get vaccinated. So it says business groups noted that the board's rules out of this of step with the rest of the country and set up an inconsistent standard between members of the public and employees of private and government workplaces. DeMaio said the new rules, if allowed to stand, will deal a crushing blow to California businesses because of the burdensome cost of obtaining N95 masks, and as well as possibility of employees walking off the job. And that's just one thing that could happen. All right, it says you have all these vaccinated individuals, and now they're being told that, well, it doesn't matter if the CDC says you don't need to wear a mask. We've decided to force you to wear a mask if any one person in your workplace is not vaccinated, DeMaio said. Nowhere in CDC science is that justified. It's not called for. It doesn't provide a benefit to those people because CDC has come out and said that people who are vaccinated do not need to wear masks because there is no risk to them. The Cal/OSHA workplace regulation is expected to take effect June 15th. So this already took effect, about 14 days now. It says the same day the state more broadly loosens masks and other precautions in social settings. So, like I said, this is going to cause that Egyptian versus Egyptian. Let's get this in 2nd Esdras 5, verse 9. It says, and salt waters shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chambers. Okay? So salt waters shall be found in the sweet. All right? Meaning you got everything opening back up right now. All right? Things are supposing to be, getting better, but here it is. You got bitter draconian measures, aka that salt, water that is now being perpetrated over there in California, which, don't be surprised if this is something that is adopted throughout different states, that if one person is not vaccinated, everybody has to, be still wear a mask, like I said, which is going to cause the second part, and all friends shall destroy one another. Okay? Because you got people that are so-called friends, all right, or colleagues or employees that are on different sides of the spectrum when it comes to the whole, vaccine. Some people, just trust in the pseudoscience behind it, all right, trust in what the government is saying, and other people, are cautious and doesn't want to, put some object, foreign substance in their body. But because of those people that are opting out of getting vaccinated, the non-vaxxers, now that's going to cause the people who have been vaccinated an issue, and they can look at those people who are non-vaccinated as a problem, which is, through the spirit, it's being set up in Babylon, to where they're trying to paint this image or this narrative that non-vaccinated people are the problem. All right, they're the problem because of this Delta variant. They're the problem with certain areas, that if a lockdown happens, if another targeted lockdown happens, they're going to blame it on the people that are not vaccinated. So don't be surprised if you see this divide in the world. All right, in Babylon. So let's get something else in the book of Isaiah, which we all often bring out. Isaiah, the 19th chapter, the 2nd verse, it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. And we know that Babylon is what? Spiritually Egypt. Okay? So it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. Okay, so the Lord said he's going to set us in the spirit, all right, on the spirits that he's in Babylon and Egypt, people to be going against one another. And what better way to have this happen? What better way to cause this friction, to cause this chaos, than to have people who are juiced up and then people who are non-juiced, at odds against one another. So that's what this whole this rule, this regulation that California just came out with. So we'll see, how this goes down and how this plays out throughout the summer. Okay, so I'll get one more scripture. I believe it's in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter. 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 24. It says, and at that time, friends, all right, a lot of people who are co-workers, they become friends, right? But they still have different political, scientific, moral views. But they gotta, work together. So they are in that particular setting. So it says, and at that time, friends fight one against another. Salakia. And at that time, shall friends fight one against another like enemies. Okay, so you see, Billy, upset at Tommy because he got to wear a mask because Tommy doesn't want to get vaccinated. Tommy doesn't didn't take the vaccine, so now everybody in the businesses has to get vaccinated, and Billy's fed up with it. And that can cause, once again, like I said, friends fighting against one another like enemies. Okay, so I end that there, Lord willing. This was edifying to the elect. Just want to bring this out real quick. Until next time, call Lord YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, Bashin Rakak Wadash. Shalom.